So I'm going to do a little Q&A today, and these questions are actually coming from my community. Inside of my community where I help guys learn, understand, and master the language of women, I typed a message here that says looking for video ideas. So I got tons of feedback. Like there's a lot of comments here. So I just want to kind of roll through some of these. Um, so first up, one of the guys goes, I think you should make more videos relating to controlling lust. Okay, so how do you control lust? Controlling lust is very easy. Remove all of the distractions and all of the triggers that are causing you to lust. Remove the bad websites, right? It's not about exercising more willpower. It's removing the negative things that are actually causing you to lust in the first place. Okay, next question we have here. Guy goes, curious about the ways to communicate being busy without over-explaining. Very simple. You never communicate being busy. All you do is you just take the time while you're busy and not reply. You have to understand the cell phone is a buffer to her gaining attention without actually being beside you. You're not obligated to reply. Number two, he says ways to communicate setting plans when in a relationship while having a busy schedule and being routine. Past the first couple hangouts or the first couple dates, it's far better if she starts setting the plans or asking you to hang out. Next question, a guy goes, you have never talked about what's the natural reaction when you get caught cheating when she finds out you're talking to other girls. Okay, so if you have an actual girlfriend or you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be cheating. Like, that's just a given. If you're to the point where you have to be cheating in order to maintain desire, number one, she doesn't like you in the first place. Number two, that's way too much drama. And number three, that's not a relationship that will last. Because even if it momentarily creates fear of loss or there's competition, in the long run or in the long term, she's not going to feel safe and secure with you because you're with other people. Another guy here goes, how you dealt with the critique of people you didn't cut off. I mean, the right answer would be I didn't, or I don't even notice, or I don't even care. Like, I have no idea. This has never even been a question to me. I just do my own thing every day. Another guy goes, how you regulate your emotions and how that process where you initially failed to do so evolved into what you now know, including the hardest struggles you experience. I mean, you're going to learn basically everything about regulating your emotions through your successes and your failures in your dating life with women. Anytime you have a failure, you're going to reflect on certain things, right? One guy goes, maintaining the sweet spot without being friend zoned. Reps and volume. That's how you do it. Reps and volume. Understand that if you're a younger guy, you're going to have to put in the reps and fail. One guy goes, what is emotional connect? When a woman says this, what does it really mean? I don't know, and I don't really think it matters. Emotional connect. She probably just likes you, right? But like the main thing you have to look at is her behavior. If she's making time to see you, she has real interest. If she's just text messaging you for attention and she's not setting plans with you, then she doesn't like you. A guy goes, a full blueprint to overcome a breakup, the steps to take, what to keep in mind, timeline, and how to win it and get her out of your head permanently. Yeah, the truth with this one is you're going to have to find another woman at or above her current level of attractiveness, and until you do that, right, until you can replace her with another girl who's just as hot as she is, you're screwed, right? Like, you're going to have to be able to do that, or else you know what you had and you know what you can't replace. One guy goes, what is one defining characteristic that separates the dudes who get the girl versus those who struggle for years? Oh, good question. What is one defining characteristic that separates the dudes who get the girl versus ones who struggle for years? I would say understanding what it is to be attractive to a woman, understanding what a woman looks for, okay? And then matching your aesthetic, your personality, your fitness, your health, your lifestyle, your purpose, your ambition, everything into one able being body, which is yourself, and being congruent with your own life. And then having the ability to not be attached to any one specific person. So that way, if she's with you, she genuinely likes you. Okay? That is what I would say the defining characteristic would be. One guy goes, how to keep a woman feminine in a long-term relationship. How to keep a woman feminine in a long-term relationship. God, that's so complex. And there's so many variables. Having your money on point, having your purpose on point, making sure she feels safe, having a clear-cut direction in life so she can trust your judgment, not falling weak to lust, not going weak for her beauty, being able to still say no, having other hobbies and interests in your free time outside of just sitting right there on the couch with her. There's tons that go into it. And also I would say having some form of spiritual guidance and leadership where you can lead a woman towards God. Like, women are looking to be led in all ways, shapes, and forms. So the thing is the closer that you can develop that relationship and that spirituality side with her towards a higher purpose, the more she's going to feel connected, because that's what she's looking for, is meaning. One guy goes, Instagram/Snapchat strategy with women you haven't yet gone on a date with or don't see much in person. IG has led to 3 different past girlfriends in the past, but I feel like I could utilize it more effectively. Okay, my Instagram strategy changes with age. I think with age as a man, purpose and being and career becomes intertwined. You need to be posting what you are and who you are. If you're a professional athlete, you're going to notice that that guy's page is all about whatever, dunking the basketball or whatever. Okay, if you are stepping into your purpose, your career, you need to be embodying you. The whole page needs to be about me. Me. Look at me. This is me. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. These are my interests. Me. It's all about me. Start being almost obsessed with where your future's going, and you're going to notice that that plays a really big effect in how you start posting pictures. One guy goes, how to find your God-given purpose if you don't have one? Pray to God to reveal it to you. That's important. You don't find your God-given purpose, right? It's revealed to you slowly, day by day, through you working at it, brick by brick, having belief. Can you go into depth about the nuances in the testing dynamic? You mentioned that there is no script, but maybe you can talk a little bit about some examples of tests that you've been through and how you've passed them. A woman might talk about her male friends. You can't feed into that or give that any attention. She might talk about past boyfriends. You can't feed into any of that. Another thing a woman might do is you might be like going somewhere or driving, okay, and she might say, oh, make a left, make a right. You can't feed into that either if you actually know where you're going. She's seeing if she can move you off center. Just little stuff, right? You have to just hold firm with who you are and what you're doing. That's very important. Another thing is if she ever makes like a face at you of like disgust, a lot of times that's a test too. Like if she's like kind of glares at you, if you don't give it attention within 5, 10, 20 seconds, it passes by and it's no big deal. How to balance not caring and masculine indifference with being a provider, protector, so that she still receives safety/security with you. Okay, this is going to fully depend on if you're dating long-term or if you're dating short-term. If you're dating short-term just casually, it doesn't really matter, okay, because she's going to just like your vibe and like your personality. However, if you're in a relationship or you have a girlfriend or you have a wife or something like that, it's going to be impossible to just not care, because you have to actually facilitate a relationship and day-to-day communication with the woman. So you're going to have to step into that protector, provider role a lot of times in order to be that masculine man's man. And what you always have to remember is that as you're doing that, you have to constantly be checking for her desire to still stay there. If you notice that she's pulling back, well, then you can't keep giving your full undivided attention and care, because it's not being reciprocated the right way. I got a question dating related. I don't feel like a magnet. How do I turn on this type of energy? By getting more attractive. You're going to increase everything. You're going to get more jacked. You're going to get stronger physically. You're going to get stronger mentally. You're going to push harder in your career. You're going to actually do things that's going to lead to you being more attractive. Okay. As you do that, your energy should raise. How do you handle conversations long-term? Short-term is easy to be fun and talk about simple things, but how do you do that for months or years? How do you maintain long-term relationships without the girl getting bored? Is it even worth having a long-term relationship? How do you handle conversations long-term? I'm just a big believer in not having super deep conversations where you're giving a lot of feedback or advice. A lot of times they just want to be heard. If she comes to you with a problem that she's going through or something like that, it's just best to sit back and just listen. Oh, no way. Really? Whoa, that's wild. No way. Oh, I can't believe that. Just very simple answers so she knows you're paying attention. That's what she wants, is your attention. If you give that, you don't have to give much feedback. If you give feedback or answers to things, a lot of times you're going to be met with friction. You might instantly even be tested. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, there you go. So that's how I handle conversations long term. How do you maintain long-term relationships without the girl getting bored? That comes down to personality and you not being boring, right? You having interesting things to talk about, you having an interesting worldview, you being able to teach her things to actually be a leader. Very important. Is it worth having a long-term relationship? I don't know. That depends on what you want. How to act when the girl starts to initiate conversations or dates a lot? I'd say congratulations. You found a woman who's showing you high interest. That's a woman who wants to be with you. That's a woman who's showing you genuine desire. It's best to entertain that. How to be more congruent and being what you say you are? Practice, practice, practice. I mean, how do you be more congruent? By being congruent. I mean, there's 4,000 YouTube videos on this channel. I show up every day and this is me. That's an example. What you say and what you do and where you put your time is who you become. How to get over a breakup the right way? You can't. You're going to have to find another woman at or above her current level of attractiveness, and that's it. Number 2, how to get better at lust control or how to get better lust control? By removing the things that are causing you to lust in the first place.